So before I start off the actual video, let me show you what the Redtiger F17 is capable of. So in this snapshot you can see there is a car right in front of mine. Its headlights are completely directed towards my car and my car's headlights are focused towards it, specifically on its number plate. But in spite of this such high glare, this is the number plate which you get. The power of Starvis-2 in full display, you can read each letter and number clearly, because if this was not a Starvis-2, this would have been a completely whitewashed number plate. But in this case, the Redtiger F17 really excels in its low light performance simply because it gets an upgrade to the Starvis-2 sensor, giving you the ability, giving you the capability to read number plates even in high glare conditions. Moving on to the daytime sample, here's some Maruti Fronx about a distance of maybe 10 feet away, and if I do zoom in to take a look at its plate, a crystal clear read, each letter and number is clearly visible. You can even make out the IND lettering on its number plate, showing you what a 4K resolution camera can bring to the table, giving you minute details which other cameras, other full HD cameras might just lack. Moving on to another snapshot during nighttime. So in this particular case, the car in front is at a higher distance of maybe more than 30 feet away. So does the Redtiger F17 have what it takes to capture its number plate? Let's zoom in and find out. A very good looking number plate read. You can definitely read each letter and number in this. It basically spells out KA13Z7869. And this is the power of having a 4K resolution along with a Starvis-2 sensor, giving you that flawless low light performance, giving you the best possible number plate readability during nighttime. And the Redtiger F17 in this particular area definitely excels. Taking a look at the overall video quality, so this is a daytime sample. So this camera shoots at 2160p resolution at 25 frames per second, has a bitrate of about 21,000 kbps with a file size of about 156 MB per minute from the front camera, and gets a Starvis-2, which I presume to be an IMX675 sensor. You have a very decent field of view, covers all the lanes in front of the car. The sharpness levels look good, the contrast levels look good, although the saturation might be a bit toned down. This camera really excels in the particular price segment this comes at, and you probably won't find a better looking video footage in this particular budget range. The Redtiger F17 offers you a very good, a very professional video quality from its front camera, and you can definitely consider this as your primary dash cam for your next car purchase. Moving on to take a look at the nighttime quality. So this is where the Starvis-2 shines. You don't get that high glare, you don't get that blob of light which you usually see in non-Starvis-2 based cameras. All the street lights, the name boards, the number plates, the LED boards, everything get a proper exposure compensation due to the Starvis-2 sensor, and this is the big major upgrade which the Redtiger F17 clearly needed. So Redtiger offering you this Starvis-2 upgrade brings out such a good low light performance. Now you can see that I'm currently in a low beam, and now when I just shift to the high beam, even in this condition you can more or less read the number plates, and of course the overall video is still looking pretty good. So what sets the Redtiger F17 apart from the other Starvis-2 based cameras is that this offers a near professional level video quality at a budget range of close to 16,000 rupees, which probably many other dash cameras cannot match. Moving on to take a look at the cabin camera. So this shoots a full HD resolution, that's 1080p at 25 fps, has a bitrate of 4978, that's about 5000 kbps, and a file size of about 40 MB per minute. The cabin camera's quality is also pretty decent. You don't see that high saturation or that high brownish effect of the skin tone like some of the other cabin cameras out there. You more or less get a decent view of the driver's side window, to some level the passenger side window, and the rear windshield. Of course, the entire cabin is covered, including the rear seat passengers, the co-passenger, and the driver seat as well. Moving on to the nighttime video quality. So since this camera gets a built-in infrared lights, you don't get a complete blacked out footage. You get a very neat looking, decent looking grayscale footage. That's the black and white footage. No areas are overexposed, no areas are underexposed, and also there's no purplish effect which some of the interior cameras produce, and there's no red eye effect which some of the other interior cameras produce, giving you a very natural looking and a very balanced looking interior camera footage. Taking a look at the rear camera quality, surprisingly good, because most rear cameras tend to over exaggerate some of the effects such as the brightness and exposure. The Redtiger F17's full HD camera provides you a balanced footage, although in terms of sharpness it might not stand up to the level of the front camera, and that's logical because the front camera gets a 4K resolution. The rear camera, on the other hand, having a full HD resolution, is doing justice to what it's capable of and is providing you a very neat, a very decent looking, and a very usable footage for everyday conditions. Similar effect can be seen during nighttime, although slight glare is seen since the rear camera does not get a Starvis-2 sensor. The overall video quality does have a good punchy contrast level and a decent amount of exposure level. Not actually completely overexposed. This is a totally manageable footage and a very much usable footage in terms of evidence, in terms of any particular way which you might want to use the rear camera video footage for. So all three cameras are performing really well for the budget this camera comes at, and this is definitely one of the cameras which you can consider as your next dash camera purchase.
Alright, so here's the newly launched Redtiger F17 triple channel dash cam, which comes with a Sony Starvis-2 sensor built inside. So this is the upgraded model of the previous Redtiger F17, wherein the previous one had the older generation Starvis sensor. So due to popular demand and due to the popularity of this model, Redtiger has now introduced a Starvis-2 sensor within this. So let's quickly open up the box and show you the contents inside. So first up you have a chart showing you all the details, hardware specifications and all the buttons and everything on the main dash camera unit. And here's the main Redtiger F17 dash camera, quite similar, or should I say exactly similar to the previous model. You have the cabin camera on one side which is tiltable up and down to some degree, and you have this large screen on one side, and on top you get this mounting pin for the windshield mount, which also gets some connectors because the GPS is basically built in inside the windshield mount. On top you get a Type-C port for power, a port for rear connector, and a memory card slot, within which you get a free memory card provided by Redtiger. So you get a 64 GB card, free card inside the dash camera, so that's a good thing. You don't need to go out searching for memory cards once you buy the camera. The lens module by itself is not adjustable and protrudes outside the body of the camera. In order to adjust the camera, you will need to tilt it along the windshield mount. So here's the windshield mount, which also doubles up as your GPS receiver, and you have these alignment pins right here which directly slide in into the main body of the camera. And once done, you can tilt the camera front and backwards and adjust the camera based on your requirement. You get this large sticker on top. At the bottom of the camera you do get this power button, mode button and OK button, along with all the settings option which can access and change using this particular button access. So that's it. This is the Redtiger F17. Let's quickly dive down further into the box to show you what else you get. So following the camera you do get this small box within which you get some paperwork which includes a thank you card. You also get 2 dedicated electrostatic stickers. You get a F17 user manual and a quick book for the app usage, that is the Redtiger app, within which you also get QR code to download the app from the Google Play Store or Apple App Store. So one good thing about the Redtiger packaging is that you get properly labeled boxes, so you don't get confused what comes where. So basically this box has a 1080p rear camera along with its power cable. That's exactly what you're going to find. So this is a full HD 1080p resolution rear camera with Redtiger branding. You get the windshield mount and the camera is 360-degree rotatable. You get a Type A, Type B connector, and on the other end you get a 3.5mm connector which plugs in into the main front camera. The second small box is also properly labeled, which gets a power supply cable with a car charger. You get a prying tool, you get cable clips and an adhesive. So these are the cable clips. You get a prying tool. You get an extra sticker for the windshield mount. And here is the main power cable which gets a L-shaped Type-C connector. And on the other end you get a pre-attached 12-volt car charger which also gets a USB port to power up your devices or your smartphone. You also get a LED indicator right on top of the USB port. So now let's move on and install the Redtiger 3-channel dash cam into my Kia Seltos and show you how this works out.
So to start off the installation, take the front camera and stick it at the windshield, preferably at near the roof of the car so that it doesn't obstruct your view. Take the L-shaped Type-C connector, plug it into the Type-C port of the camera and then run the wire through the roof of the car. So once you run the wire through the roof of the car, it will just turn around right here and head into the beading of the door panel. So you need to pass the wire inside this beading part.
and take it all the way down towards the floor. And once the wire comes all the way down, you have this small cut right here, so within which the wire will come outside and follow the panel right below the dashboard. So once the wire passes below the dashboard, it goes all the way back here, so you can see the wire here. It goes below the floor mat, goes all the way behind this, and goes below the 5D floor mats which I have purchased from Kia. So the wire follows all the way down below these floor mats and comes up right here, so you can see this single wire coming out. Now I can actually conceal this properly if you just like put it behind, so you can actually pull enough wire so that it's not visible straight away, and it can actually have a very small portion being visible. And the good thing being, Kia has provided a small gap here, so you can see there is a proper gap here to pass the wire right below the handrest. And once the wire passes below the handrest, you can connect the 12-volt socket into the charger, and there it is. The connection is pretty much made. You need to make sure that the wire passes right through the front gap right here, so that now you can conceal it behind the seat and make sure a very less or very minimum amount of wire is visible. Now take the rear camera and peel off the sticker tape and just stick the rear camera at the rear windshield at an appropriate place. Once that's done, take the rear camera power cable and insert it into the main front camera. So about doing the wiring for the rear camera, of course the rear camera point plugs in right here. You need to take the wiring straight up from the roof of the car along this line, come all the way up here to the A pillar, and then follow the same method, that is get it into the beading of the door of the car. So it will follow this particular way, come up here at this particular point and follow the B pillar right here. It needs to get inserted right here. There is a small gap at the B pillar and the roof, so you can go in there and then follow again through the beading of the door right here all the way, and then follow it back right over the quarter glass and then back into the D pillar wherein you can find the rear camera placed. I mean, to those of you who are concerned about the airbag that is present on the side, there is another way to do the wiring. So once you bring the rear camera wire to the A pillar, instead of going top through the roof of the car, you can turn the wire downwards. Similarly, like how I showed you for the main front camera, the wire can pass all the way through the beading of the car and then get into the floor of the car right here. So you can pass the wire through the beading at the floor of the car. Take it turn on right here and insert the wire into this panel right here. It will definitely go inside because there is a small gap here to the rear seat area. Following which it will pass all the way up here, and then you can take a small turn towards the beading of the car and then bring it all the way up towards the boot area, and wherein again it will follow the same path what I just showed you previously of how you would have taken the wiring if it came from the roof. It will go through the C pillar or the quarter glass or the D pillar and then follow it up towards the back of the car. So once the wiring is complete, it is going to sort of look like this. The main power cable will go all the way up towards the roof. The rear camera cable goes towards the left towards the roof and follows that particular line. So here's the Redtiger F17 currently turned on and currently mounted on my windshield. So straight up you can see that it is streaming off the rear camera. First up, let's quickly jump into the settings of the camera to show you all the settings, all the on-screen settings which you can get from the F17. Starting off with the resolution, you get a 4K for the front, 1080p for the cabin and 1080p for the rear. Then you have the ability to shoot 2.5K for the front, Full HD for the cabin and Full HD for the rear. So these two options are present. The next option is the format SD card option, within which you can format the memory card straight up at your command. Then you have the loop recording option with a minimum duration of 1 minute, a middle duration of about 3 minutes and a maximum duration of about 5 minutes. Then you have the clock setting where you can set the date and time and DD, MMYY format. Then you have the time style, 24-hour or 12-hour timestamp. Then you have the time zone. You can set it to GMT plus 5:30 for India. Then you have the language option wherein you find various different languages. Then you have the Wi-Fi option wherein it gives you the Wi-Fi SSID and the password in order to connect to the Dashcam via the Redtiger app. So next option is the app itself. So you get a QR code to download the respective app for the dash camera. Then you have the G sensor option where you can set the sensitivity of the G sensor to low, medium, high, or you can of course completely turn it off. Then you have the GPS information, gives you the strength of the GPS satellites. Then you have the screensaver option. You can turn off the screensaver completely, or you can set it to turn on after 1 minute, 3 minutes, or 5 minutes. Then you have the rear camera flip option in case if you have inverted the camera. Then you have the mirror flip option for the rear camera. Following that, you have the flicker option 50 Hz and 60 Hz. Then you have the click tone option, which I'll currently turn off. Then you have the sound record option, that is basically the mic option. Then you have the startup sound, you can set it to off or on. Then you have the date stamp, you can set it to be visible on the recorded video, or you can turn it off. Then you have the speed stamp, again the same option, you can set it to be visible on the video, or you can turn it off. Then you have the format reminder option, each in 15 days or each in 25 days, or of course you can completely turn it off. Then you have the daylight saving time, this is not applicable for India. Then you have turn off or on the inside camera. So this is an important option because quite a many of you would like to have some privacy in the car. So in that situation, you can turn off the cabin camera and this will completely disable it, and only the front and the rear camera will record. But if you want the rear camera to record, you can easily turn it off straight up from the settings. Then you have the infrared LEDs, you can set it to auto, off or on. So this is applicable during night time for the cabin camera. Then you have the speed units, kilometers per hour or miles per hour. Then you have the fatigue reminder, you can set it to 1 hour, 2 hours or 3 hours, or you can completely turn it off. Then you have the card speed indicator to show you the speed of the card. Then you have the reset dash cam to its factory settings. Then you have the help center for any service related queries or any support. You can contact Redtiger on their email ID, and they've also provided a QR code. Then you have the product information wherein it provides you the firmware version and the model name, that's the F17. So these are the on-screen settings for the Redtiger F17. So straight up on the display you have the front camera view, the cabin camera view and the rear camera view. You can switch between the camera views. So now the cabin camera has come on the left, you have the front and the rear. Following that you have again the rear camera on the left and front and the cabin camera. Then you can switch between the individual views. So currently this is the front camera view, you have the cabin camera view, and then you have the rear camera view. So this is the advantage wherein you can stream the rear camera on this large 3-inch screen. This will actually help you even while taking reverse, or even if some luggage is filled up in your car and you can't see through the internal rear view mirror, you can use this as a reference, as a guide to see what's happening behind the car. Then you have the snapshot button wherein it's going to take an emergency snapshot. Then you have an emergency record button. If you click on it, it's going to start recording an emergency video in a separate folder. And you can see the yellow icon glowing here with the time duration as well. Then you have the album section wherein you can access all the recorded videos from the front camera, the interior camera and the rear camera. So individually you can access any of the files and view them as per your requirement. So this is it, simple straightforward settings for the Redtiger F17, easily one of the best dash cameras available under the 20,000 price segment.